There's a live-action Kim Possible movie on its way to the Disney Channel, so now it's as good a time as ever to talk about our favorite teen hero cheerleader. Though I already talked your ear off about Kimmy in our Kim Possible episode a few weeks ago, perhaps we should take a deeper look into Kim Possible's co-star, Ron Stoppable. This dude in distress was a favorite among fans with his jokes, his charm, and his providing of the naked mole rat. He was funny, geeky, awkward, and quite the ladies' man. Oh, I'm not being ironic. Sure, he got the girl in the end. Spoilers, not really. But have you noticed all the people he paired off with before he ended up with Kim? Even though he was painted as the dorky guy at school who couldn't get a date, he went on plenty of dates. Way more than Kim ever did. That's why we're here today. I'm Arielle with Channel Frederator, and on this episode we're asking the question, was Ron Stoppable actually really attractive and really good at dating? I mean it, take another look at the show. Ron's character was supposed to be a lovable dweeb, but the writers wrote him so lovable that he ended up with a lot of people crushing on him. Whether it was for one episode or spanned across a few, Ron kept saying that the girls weren't into him, but in reality, they were all over him. In fact, I want to list off each of his matches today. We can examine his compatibility with them, how the fans reacted to the different ships, who the fans shipped him with, and so on. And who knows, maybe there could be a conspiracy in here about who he ended up with. Bring on the X's. It's gonna be that episode from Third Rock from the Sun up in here. So the biggest, grandest, and most well-known ship of them all is, of course, Kim Possible and Ron Stoppable. We have to talk about them first. Now, lots of people were into this ship from the start. They were co-stars, they shared chemistry as best friends. Watching the first 2 seasons, we were led to believe that the couple would remain friend-zoned. Because aside Stoppable's distaste towards Kim's crush Josh Mickey and a kiss under the mistletoe, it seemed like they had little interest in being anything more than just friends. The writers steered clear from any hint of pairing the two off until the 3rd season episode, Emotion Sickness. It was in this episode that Kim Possible was influenced by a gadget called the Moodulator and became infatuated with Ron. They went on a date and even shared their first kiss. Though Miss Possible's feelings weren't true and they were all brought on by the device, the episode ended with Kim telling Ron that they were still fireworks. Apparently, this little adventure tested well with audiences, and it was from there that the ship earned its canon. Get it? We're talking about ships? Should have worn my pirate costume again. The two were together by the end of So the Drama, and the relationship continued on throughout the final season until the series' end. I love this couple. That So the Drama kiss made me cry. They're happy together, they support one another, they accept each other's faults. And you know what, when it comes to dating, you want the one you're with to feel like they're your best friend. And if they're actually your best friend, then that's, well, the best. So now that we have that out of the way, it's time to look at the past flames who came and went. In this case, the one that Ron turned down. I'm talking about Yori. These two met while attending the Yamanouchi Ninja School in Japan. She was a freaking ninja. She's little and cute, and she can kick your butt. Looks like our boy Ron likes strong women. Strong in the meaning that they could kick his butt. And good on him! It was early in his foreign exchange program that Yori took interest in Stoppable-san. It must have been his American-style jokes and buffoonery. Her words, not mine. There's another tip for you. Humor is always charming. Yori was definitely intended as a love interest. She landed a total of 3 kisses on Ron's cheek. She was also introduced in the 2nd season, long before the Kim and Ron ship came into port. Don't hate me because I'm punny. The relationship they built had such a solid foundation that even Kim Possible was jealous, even possessive. In the 4th season episode, Big Brother, Kimmy pushed Ron into breaking the news to Yori that they've begun to date, in the middle of a brawl with Monkey Fist no less. The girl has her priorities. Yori claims she was alright with it, but you can't help but notice a tinge of disappointment in her first reaction. Aww. Maybe if Kim and Ron never happened, she would have had the honor of being with him in the end. It's admittedly a little sad. They're good together. But instead, it was her honor to let him go. Before Yori, there was Zita. You remember Zita, right? Arguably, Zita didn't make as big of an impact as Yori, but she still made herself known. I remember liking Zita as a kid. I liked her design and her name and her voice. She got really cool when she saved the day in Virtue Ron. Yas, queen, slay that rave master. Her first appearance in Grudge Match wasn't exactly all there, but at least she saw a movie with Ron by the end. In Virtue Ron, we learned that Zita was tough and courageous, like most women were on the show, and she was also a skilled gamer. So Ron and Zita shared an interest in nerd culture. Common interests are a strong base to build a relationship on. It's implied that they went on at least a date or 2, but that's about it. In the end, it seems that our Ron just couldn't impress the lady enough to keep her around. I'd have to say, I'm not surprised. Zita was great, but in my opinion, there just wasn't enough of a spark to keep it going. Now, Bonnie. Oh yeah, that was in fact a thing for a minute there. This one was interesting. Let's be clear, neither party was very interested in the other romantically, but it's still worth mentioning. Obviously, Bonnie was a bully to Ron for the duration of the show, but there was one episode titled Homecoming Upset. Bonnie bribed her way into the title of Homecoming Queen alongside Ron, who was fairly voted as Homecoming King. Bummed that her sports star boyfriend Brick Flag dumped her, she tried to rebound with Middleton's new star player, Ron Stoppable. Yep. Does all this sound familiar now? Ron was the guy to date, and so she tried to steal him from his then-girlfriend, Kim Possible. She even stole a long and sloppy kiss. If you're not a fan of this couple, don't worry. Once Bonnie was outed for her antics, she set her sights on finding someone new. I gotta say, my OTP is the canon pairing between Bonnie and Senor Senior Jr. That couple is adorable as On to the next cutie. This one's easy to miss. Tara was one of the girls on Kim Possible's cheerleading squad. It was the second episode of the show Sink or Swim where Ron had his first chance to shine upon returning to the camp of his past, Camp Wannaweep. Of all the cheerleaders following his lead, it was the beautiful blondie Tara who was the most supportive. She even gave him a kiss on the cheek as thanks for saving the day. Though this is all we saw between them. It came and went in a blink of an eye. It was only mentioned in the episode Emotion Sickness where Kim asked Ron if he ever noticed that Tara liked him. Apparently, he didn't. That's pretty cool that the show kept that continuity, but how nothing came out of it? It's realistic, but unfortunate. I bring it up because, dude, that is a really cute cheerleader that liked him from the start. He more or less had Bonnie coming after him, who was another cheerleader, and then he ended up with the star cheerleader. Are we making our point? Ron has it going on. That's it for the girls who canonically had interest in Ron. Though while we're here, I want to mention Shigo, because some fans wanted that to happen. Believe it or not, there were a few tiny hints that were tossed our way to fuel that fire on the show. I'm talking tiny. But shippers will take anything they can get, am I right? There was the episode Bad Boy when Ron turned evil. Shigo left Dr. Draken, who we know Shigo liked deep down, to work for him instead. All because Ron was the more sinister choice. Shigo likes power, yo. But aside from that, I'll be real, Shigo had no interest in Ron whatsoever. And yeah, I feel like their personalities would just clash, honestly. But whatever floats your boat. The ship puns are real today! Oh, also, before you reprimand me for bringing this up because Shigo is older and Ron is a high schooler at the time of the show, let's be clear that when I'm reporting on what the fandom has shipped, I'm talking about a relationship that would start after the show ends when everyone is 18 or older. I mean, they're off to college in the finale, so they've arrived. Also, you know you have Kigo in your DeviantArt favorites, don't deny it. With that said, can we talk about the chemistry between him and Draken real fast? The two of them bonded in the Christmas episode, and I won't be surprised at all if at least Dr. Draken was into it, you know? I mean, yeah, it took the Doctor 62 episodes to remember the name Stoppable, and Draken tried to kill him and Kim on multiple occasions. But Draken was a good guy by the end of the series. They could move on. Sure, they'd be off to a rough start, but some of us like it rough. Hey, at least I'm not talking about the possibility of him getting together with Monkey Fist or Mr. Barkin. Those two couldn't even survive a double date together. I think that might be it, guys. Things are getting really weird. At this rate, I'm gonna start talking about Ron's relationship with Anako, or that strangely popular crack pairing between him and American Dragon Jake Long. Now that I think about it, they're both about the same age, they're both into hip-hop and kung fu, they both have the buffoon thing going on. I can see it. Okay, I need to stop. Or do I? If you want to see more shipping, I can deliver. Just give me a heads up in the comments. Yeah, like, even though Ron was supposed to be the loser with no dates, he had all the dates. Even without the awkward fan pairings, because those don't count. That Ron factor that he has going on is really working for him in the canon category. I only felt the need to bring up the fan pairings to emphasize the fact that there was plenty of Ronness to go around and the audience picked up on it. I'm not entirely sure why the writers decided to go in the direction of making him so popular. Maybe Kim had too much going on to have a collection of love interests. On that note though, I'm glad she ended up with Ron. Kim Possible and Ron Stoppable is the ship that sinks the rest. Though I've gotta say, I'm curious to see how things would have turned out if he ended up with Yori. Hey, I did say there could be a conspiracy here about who he ended up with, and a lot of people on the internet like Yori. Anyone want to confirm? Oh, you know what else on the internet is liked? You know where this is going. I will rate the theory in a second, but first I need to remind you to like, subscribe, and hit that bell icon below because it helps us a great deal. Please and thank you. And now I'm going to end this conspiracy with 5 Diablo toys out of 5 because yes, Ron is attractive. He is good at dating. There are plenty of different types of attractive people in the world. Is Ron an all-out playboy? No, I wouldn't use that word. He's just a great guy with a magnetic personality that pulls in all the right people. except for Bonnie. We can all learn something from him. I'm Arielle, also known as R2 Ninja Turtle on all social media, here to remind you that everybody loves Ron Stoppable. And also remember, Frederator loves you.